Hey tribe, Dawna here from Transformational Healing, and today I wanted to share with you some of my herbal reference books. Now, today we're going to cover both medicinal herbal books and magical, spiritual, or metaphysical herbal books that I like to use or that I just use as reference books to work for correspondences and things. So, I have two books that I use for herbal things on a regular basis, and I do have hundreds of herbal books at the house. So being able to focus this down to what books I actually pull out for herbal medicine the most often is how I wanted to work this. So my number one quick reference guide for herbal medicine is called the Herb Book, and it is by John Lust. And there are many copies of this book available. Let's see here. And it is just, I like the way that it's set up. It has great information. It has a lot of the different herbs in it. Little tiny pictures of the different herbs. And it goes through what the plants are used for, what the descriptions are, where to find them, what parts are used, and how they're used, and what they do. It also has a great reference guide in the front where it has things divided up for the types of ailments that you're looking for and things that may be commonly used for that. The index is set up well. In the back there's some stories. That kind of thing. There's also a bunch of different charts for dyes and things like that for what plants are used for dyeing different things. And there's alphabetical list of herbs. It's just set up really, really well. My actual first copy of this book is falling apart and being held together with hair ties and elastic bands so that I can keep it, and I keep it stored out in my trailer, so that even when I'm out at Brushwood, I also have a quick reference guide, and it's, even though it's falling apart, because it just means that much to me. So I was very happy to have found another copy of this. So the second book that I brought for herbal medicine today is the Herbal Medicine Maker's Handbook. And this is by James Green, and he is an amazing herbalist. And this book has different formulas, how to go about turning those herbs into medicine. So he has lots of different things about making oil infusions, making salves, making tinctures, all of that kind of stuff, and talks about the different types of herbs that are basically used in the best types of extraction processes and ways to get medicine out of herbs, including drying them and everything like that. So it is a great book, and if you're interested in making your own herbal medicine, this is the book that I would recommend that you start out with. There's hundreds of others out there. There's tons of other herb books out there, but those are my two very quick go-to guides if I need to look something up. Say I need to make a new type of herbal tincture, one that I haven't made before. That book is the first book that I'll go to see what percentage of alcohol that I need to be using for that, or if there's any tricks or tips that I need to know about it. That's the book that I'll go to check that out really quickly, to find that information. Now, when it comes to magical herbal books, there are thousands. So I had a lot harder of a time. Let's see, how many do we have over here? We have 7 correspondence books for magical herbs. So, but they kind of go in sets of 2s, the first couple of them, because you can't choose. So, when I first started out, these were 2 books that I used very, very often, and I will often refer back to them to look things up really quick when I'm, on the go. But Scott Cunningham really had great information with incense, oils, and brews, and the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. So They're simple to use, they're easy to use, and the information is fairly accurate. So I like these ones. And they're kind of like a staple for being able to look up things on a quick basis in the house. So 2 other books that I use when it comes to magical correspondences for planets and looking things up and that type of thing, and working with energies of things, are both by Maya Heath. So the first book is Energies, a Book of Basics, and the other book is Carradin's Handbook of Incense, Oils, and Candles. So basically these are more like chart style. They have everything lined up inside them, and there's information about how to work with candles, how to shape them, how to work with elements, and some stuff on essential oils as well. So it's just a really good, quick handbook that if this is what you're going to get, that this is an easy way to look things up. She has stuff about stones in this one and crystals, working on levels of awareness, and also the chakra center. So this is all about energy. So if you're looking to work on how to work with energy, this one is a really great book. And all the herbs and the things that go with them and the essential oils that go with them. So you see how that kind of overlaps with these books. They're good just overall correspondence books. Now, I did just pick up, and I found some great information in here, Llewellyn's newest correspondence books. Now, I do not get paid or have any affiliates for anything, but I do happen to know that this book is here at Star and Splendor because I bought it here at Star and Splendor, and she keeps selling them quickly. This book is very similar to Maya's books in that it is a lot of charts. And you go through and it's all correspondence charts. But they are quick ways to look things up. What I kind of liked about this, they have a whole entire thing on the plant kingdom, and they have all the different correspondences of the different things. But there's everything that you could want to look up. There's a different way to look it up, and it's all cross-referenced in here. So it kind of takes Maya's books that she put out when I was first looking at things, and it was amazing to have a small amount of information, but a good logical amount of information to be working with. And this kind of takes that and makes it 1,000-fold of the information that is in these books. But it can be overwhelming if you're not quite sure how you want to be looking things up, or you don't quite know what you really want to accomplish or what you want to do. This book may be a little bit harder for you to work with, whereas at least when it comes to energies, this book is amazing for all types of energy work. And this book, the Incense, Oils, and Candles, and it has a lot of the herbs in it, is a little bit more focused than using the big correspondence books. If you are just looking to make incenses and you're looking for incense recipes and things like that, or different correspondences and basically just different incenses, it's thousands of recipes inside of this book. It's a great little guide. Now, I don't make any of my recipes, my incenses that I sell in the shop. None of them are exactly these recipes, but I like that in the beginning of the book they have all the different herbal correspondences of what they might work with, what they might work for. And then I work with the plants themselves, and sometimes different people get different meanings with the plants, and I go with whatever my guides say needs to go in. So when you are looking at recipes, they have some Hallows 1 and Hallows 2 and Hallows 3 recipes and Llama's recipes. These are not my exact recipes that I would use, but they are awesome places to get more information for what you may or may not want to add to your incenses. And remember that whatever you're doing with your incenses, sometimes the oils for those would apply as well for you to make your anointing oils. Those have a lot of crossover for what I often do. When it comes to more talking about like folk magic and witchcraft and things along those lines, I have found some great information in Anne Mora's book called Green Witchcraft. It talks about, as it says, folk magic, fairy lore, and herbcraft. So she has a lot of different stuff about the basics for Wicca. So this is not a book that I use on a regular basis, but when I first started out, not understanding the differences between paganism, Wicca, witchcraft, and different things like that, I picked this book up, and it does have a lot of interesting practices, different things on magic and green living, and a lot of herbal information. So I'll still occasionally open it up to work with some of the herbal information in here, but I just wanted to let you know that it's there, and it has different things about the Sabbats, and it's an overall good book for working with earth spirituality, but it is not specifically pagan in general. It does focus specifically on Wicca, which is one of the religions within paganism. If you're looking to narrow down things and you are just looking for books specifically to help you as reference books, the go-to books of all the books that I have shown you for medicinal herbalism, I would go for the Herb Book by John Lust. And for magical herbalism stuff, I would actually go with one of the Cunningham books. So they are both really, really good, and it just depends on your perspective, but I think that both of them are good. One of them helps you to have recipes for incenses and oils and making brews, and the other one just has all the meanings in it. So if you're looking for meanings, you want to go for more of this one. If you're looking at working with those things, you want to go for this one. But I hope that helps you to understand a little bit of some of the places where I've picked up some of my references for what I do, but I have not learned everything that I've learned through books. I've been working with herbs and oils and shamanic healing and all of those other things for about 30 years of life practice. I have lots of in-person teachers, lots of information that has been passed down to me from lineages, and lots of time, just time spent being in the now, working with the plants, sitting with the plants, working with the oils, listening to my guides, listening to what other people need, and making things and helping them and creating things that help to come back to balance. So that is a little bit of an introduction to perhaps you can also start on the herbal healing path or working with magical herbs a little bit better. If you missed Tuesday's video, I shared with you some of my favorite shamanic books. And remember that we are live on YouTube every Sunday at 2 o'clock. So if you have any questions, be sure to send them to me, and I will make sure that I answer them during the Q&A on Sundays. Many blessings, tribe, and I hope to see you real soon.